The open road is not a straight line, not in the way that geometry and runaways tell us it is. Though it brings us new experiences, gives us a chance at finding purpose and strength, there'd be far less of a point to it if there was no way to bring these things back. When you carry the spirit of the journey with you, you remember that the roses you stop to smell will grow and change without you, and coming back to them will be worth it every time. Hello everyone, good morning, and welcome to Roll Weird, an actual play podcast of Monster of the Week, written by the spectacular Mike Sands. I am your host, Lee, and it's early for us, so pardon the spiritual malaise that has wrapped everybody.
I'm drinking coffee instead of liquor.
Yeah, right.
Lee?
Andy's not high, I think.
I have a quick question. What is a malaise?
Imagine like there's this
It's like a barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Imagine like a big weight has been set on top of you, Atlas style, and it's just ever so slowly pushing you down and down and down. But it's in your brain and soul.
Just think about being waterboarded, but with Sweet Baby Ray's instead of water.
Don't let Lay mislead you,
Rays.
listeners. It's like 12:30 in the afternoon. That's not
early, baby. That's early.
We usually record at 9.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Before we get started, is there anything anyone wants to plug or talk about?
I started a new podcast.
Oh, word?
Yeah, Genders, Queers, and Buccaneers.
Yes.
It is a political, feminist, queer look at the show, Black Sails.
Black Sails, yeah.
And we'll probably do other pirate media as well when we finish Black Sails. But right now we are just deep diving Black Sails episode by episode.
Fantastic show. Takes a little while to get started, but fantastic show.
By episode 6, episode 5, I say it really hits its stride.
I would agree
same
with that.
artist did our artwork that did Roll Weird.
Fuck yeah.
Ivy Hastings
Nice.
on Instagram.
Eventually, if you run out of pirate media, you can just transition to media that you don't pay for, and it's sort of the same idea.
That is true. Yeah, we'll just pirate all of Xena because it's not streaming anywhere, and we'll just cover that.
Oh yeah, the death of media platforms is so scary.
It's real annoying.
I should keep this on my computer somewhere.
Yeah.
That's why we stopped doing Ending Pending. It was just getting harder and harder to cover the shows we wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Oh God. Okay. Anyways, on that beautiful note, Matt, you want to say something?
Yeah, I'll plug my fiance started streaming on Twitch. You can follow her at Queen Estrella. Follow her because we need money. We need to pay for a wedding. Sponsor us. I need money. I need to pay for a wedding. I'll do weird stuff.
The Queen Estrella?
Yes, the Queen Estrella.
Nice.
But yeah, she started streaming on Twitch. So if you're listening to this, go check her out.
What's she streaming right now?
Baldur's Gate 3.
Of course.
Do you ever walk in the background?
When she has technical difficulties.
Nice. I'll go to see you and I'll go, that's Matt. He's a cryptid.
What is the schedule of the show? Is it like every Tuesday, Thursday, something like that?
Still figuring out a schedule. Just follow her on Twitch, and if you see her live, go watch.
Fair enough. Okay. The Grove has lost a bit of its number since you first knew them. Those that do remain treated a bit more like an artist's colony or homesteaders. Though they realize that there is some of their recovery has come from Dolly's power, they respect the values of the Grove, and they enjoy the community enough that they believe that this thing is worth maintaining. Outside, there's still rent and cars and the internet and any other number of things that can tax the spirit. So instead, the remaining members have resolved to carve out a life here and keep it a haven for people who are trying to improve themselves or at the very least ease their suffering. Perhaps in spite of the tragedy of recent events, it's a lovely, warm late afternoon on this lakeside clearing surrounded by acres of gently rustling leaves. Who would like to go first? And then also maybe tell me tone that you would like musically.
After all of that, to find the right musical cue.
Well, if you're about to be really sad, this doesn't work.
I think Danny can go off of this music pretty well.
Cool. Yeah. Bigfoot and Batty have come back to the grove with you guys just because obviously they were under attack before, and it makes just a lot of sense to be around people who seem to be on the other side of things. They, in the past couple days, because it's been maybe 2 or 3 days since the incident at Tiger Lake Tiger Lake Dam, Bigfoot has kind of lamented a lot about the idea that like he'd kind of gotten complacent. He was like still like checking in on like the world outside, you know, to kind of know that they were safe or whatever. But recent events kind of made him remember that he's kind of angry in general. That like, God, it would be so nice just to go to the grocery store, but they have to do all of this like round the circle bullshit just to have a normal ass, even remote normal ass life. And I think that's a thing that he's been stewing on with Bat Squatch for a couple days now. What do you do?
I think Danny kind of knocks on their tent.
Yeah, everyone's in tents still. They're working on building cabins, but that's gonna take some time.
Mm-hmm. Hey, knock, 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 Kimosabe.
I almost made a door sound. The tent flap rolls back, and they're sitting inside, and they go, "Oh, hey, buddy."
Dude, so like, a lot of the Queen Anchovy's revenge got kind of waterlogged, but
I see that.
all the weed is fine, and I was thinking about maybe lighting up with Jerry. I wanted to see if you fine gentlemen wanted to accompany us and smoke some sweet marijuana.
Bigfoot looks back at Basquatch, who is like trying to make like mug brownies over like a cooking stove in their tent, and they give you like a thumbs up. Basquatch is like way less talkative. They are like really nocturnal, so they're really tired all the time whenever they're doing stuff during the day. And they agree. And they were going to go fishing if you wanted to go out on one of the little boats and just sit on the lake and try to chill for a while.
Dude, I fucking love fishing. Like, it's such a spiritual kind of experience, you know? I think that's why Jesus had sex with all those fishermen in the Bible.
I don't know that I've heard that, but I also am not a Bible expert, so I'm gonna trust your word on that.
Yeah, it's in the sacred texts of all the keepers of the field.
Very
Tenders.
cool. Very cool. Oh yeah,
Chicken tenders.
I didn't know
Do
they
you
had,
guys
like,
want
a
to bring some
religious
chicken
slant.
tenders onto the boat?
Yes. Oh yes, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
We've been eating mostly their salads here, and we would kill for some meat.
Oh, we got tons of pizza bagels. Sometimes when we don't feel like cooking pizza, we get those like pizza bagels. They got little bits of pepperoni on them. They're terrible, but we love them.
Don't mind my asking, aren't you sick of pizza?
What?
I mean, you know, if you taste the same thing too often, eventually it's gonna get stale.
Every pizza is a different pizza. I can't eat the pizza I ate yesterday. I eat a new pizza today.
I don't know how to investigate this further, so okay.
Let's just get high. I'll make a lot more sense when you're high.
Okay, yeah.
To all the listeners out there, you should listen to Danny's Scenes High. Danny will make a lot more sense. Yeah, let's get on the boat. Let's get on the water. Just like the Christ.
Yeah, there's a quick little mini montage of like microwave door closing, opening, pizza bagels, bong removed from stash, brought out to boat, flipped onto the water, and pushed off. And we see that, you know, when the sun catches on a lake and half of it looks gold and flowing away from the horizon there, and we see the silhouettes of everybody. I think as if this was like an animated show, we would see just the silhouettes of everyone. So there's you, Jerry, Bigfoot, Bat Squatch. So the boat is like horrendously tipped. Yeah. They say, so do the tenders of the field have a religious slant?
I mean, yeah, we definitely started out as a religious situation. So, like, you know Judas Iscariot, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, he betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. And then, because he was horny. And then when he killed himself because he was sad and horny, after betraying the polycule, he hung himself in a field and he exploded.
Oh. I thought this was like the field thing was a harvest thing.
No, so when Judas exploded, what people don't know is that he exploded into a cloud of bats because he became the first vampire.
How accurate is Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer?
Pretty accurate.
Whoa!
Not 100%, but pretty accurate, dude.
That's so cool. Gotta watch that movie again.
There's 30 tenders of the field, one for each coin, and like Danny holds up their coin. And he's like, this is one of the coins that Judas betrayed Jesus for. And we hunt vampires. And that's all we do. We only hunt vampires. We don't get mixed up with other supernatural bullshit.
Are you sure?
Yeah, sure. Pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm like hanging out with these dudes because they're pretty chill and because I keep crashing into their car, so I kind of feel like I owe them. But I'm keeping a head on the swivel for vampires the whole time.
Okay.
I'm very observant.
Have there been any examples of good vampires?
There's that one actor. He's kind of a prophet. Bill and Ted. Yeah, that guy. We dig him. He's chill.
Okay, so why is he chill? Why is he not like the bad guy?
Mostly because I really like his movies. So he gets a pass for making Bill and Ted, and if he steps out of line, though, I will kill him. I don't want to, though.
Okay.
I'd be like that meme where the guy is holding the gun and he's crying. I don't want to have to do that.
Right. Now,
Lucas taught me all about
this. I
this.
talk about that Santa Claus is pretty evil, and it's like one you want to go after.
So that's a common misconception. Santa Claus is cool. St. Nicholas is a fucking bastard, though.
Oh, okay. What if St. Nicholas was like a good guy now? What would you do?
Oh, he's definitely not.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Have you met him?
No. If I met him, he'd be 12 feet. How deep do they dig graves, Jerry?
6 feet.
He'd be 6 feet under.
Okay, sure.
Well, actually, he'd be like a cloud of dust. I don't actually know. Andy is saying this. I don't know how vampires die in our world.
The only vampire we've seen died like a normal creature because they were covered in cement. Yeah, they just like beefed it.
So Andy doesn't know what happened. Danny knows. Andy doesn't know how vampires die. But...
They die like normal. They don't like turn into smoke or something.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'd fucking kill that guy. Because he's a bad dude. You don't just get forgiven for years and years and years of genocides.
Of course, yeah. Absolutely.
He just wipes out entire towns. He's a bad man.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense to me.
You set up your Christmas lights and you're like, oh, it's Christmas. And he's like, oh, you've invited me in. And he eats everyone.
Danny, can I ask you a sort of big picture question?
I love the big picture. I hate the small picture. I love the big picture.
What's more important, truth or happiness?
Ooh. I think I don't know if you can truly be happy in a lie, you know? I think they're kind of connected, because if you're happy in a lie, it's a false happiness. It can be ripped away at any moment by knowing the truth. So, and the truth will always eventually come out. I do believe that. It might not happen in your lifetime, but the truth will come out.
Okay. That's a pretty good answer. I like that.
Dude, I like you. I think you're cool.
I like you too. We should
Shut
hang out more. I'm severely lacking in company.
Yeah, we should chill more. Hey, Jerry, how you doing, buddy? I like you too, man.
I think Jerry's like zonked, leaning up against like the head part of the like little boat. And they give you that, you know, that thing that people do, or they just give you that thumbs up, but their eyes are closed.
Yeah.
Well, on that lovely, sweet note, I'm happy to pull away here unless there's anything you want to talk to Bigfoot about proper.
Bigfoot, man, I just want you to be happy, dude. I just want you to have a good time. You've had a rough week and a half, so like, let's just vibe, man.
Let's
catch some fish.
It's nice to know that there are like people that will try out there, even if it doesn't feel like things are changing. Just like to know is very good.
Dude, everything's always changing, man. That's life. And I think, pull back there.
And the silhouette shot rises up. And who's up next? Yeah.
Uh-oh.
We find ourselves in the reset up, because he had left it before, tent of Henry Jekyll, who I think is sitting next to an array of documents and like his setup, his chemistry supplies and alchemy tools, and is, I think, sitting across the table from Lucas, as he's been trying to resolve a more permanent solution for Mark, as explained that the suppression of his condition only really works when he's around Dolly and gets regular dosage of the formula. Even the inventor of the thing, Dr. Jekyll, it's not permanent. Like, he has to do it all the time. So there's not really a cure, so to speak. It's just something getting closer to it, which is what Mascall wants. It's what Petey wanted. And like, they want to figure out like all of the different steps along the way to have completed this process. What do you do?
So, Jekyll, the reason that I had sent you that specific rote, even though magic and technology is not your forte, is because that ability does alter the very fiber of a monster. On a small level, and only monsters of a certain hardiness.
Right.
But it does alter their physiology and nature.
Right. I do find it very compelling. I wish there was a way to have test subjects that could agree to it. I trust that it does work. It's just that
I can give us test subjects.
Okay. And they would be fine being, because are they thinking the things you create? Do they have minds, or are they like, if I produced it, would I then suddenly have to worry about like the same way I might treat an invertebrate?
No, they do have the ability to think and react.
All right.
However, they're artificial and temporary.
Oh, okay. So it's like more like conjurations than bringing something from another place.
Yes, as far as I could tell, a piece of me is taken away, brought somewhere else, and
Mm.
infused with magic and sent here as something else.
I see. So it's more like transmutation.
I believe so, yes.
I see. Oh. I guess I had always thought you were the other form of magic user.
The other form?
What does they call it? Structure and discipline?
Oh, no.
I see. Well, I mean, but I don't know that much about it. Just the sort of the basics.
I tend to think of it more as tapping into a power source and trying to close the faucet before it overflows.
Right. I'm okay. I mean, if you believe this will work, if perhaps between myself, yourself, and Dolly, we can bring young Mark to something approximating human again.
I would hope so, and I do believe there are other applications to our combined efforts.
I agree. Technology, science. I need to figure out a word for monstrous power, because it's not necessarily magic. So if you can think of anything, or if your friends do, please let me know, and I'll write it down somewhere.
Actually, I didn't know that monstrous power and magic were separate.
They can be. For example, there are spellcasters that could deny another spellcaster use of their magic. But it wouldn't work on something that a monster creates always. Like, if you met a hag, it's likely you could stop their spellcasting. But Dolly's speech... what's that movie? Godzilla?
Yeah, the atomic breath.
That wouldn't be stopped by countering their spells.
Okay,
Some things
so
monsters just produce.
what would what a Fae does be considered?
Well, if Dolly is a good backdrop, it's well, I guess that begs the question: in what regard? What are they doing?
That's honestly what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
A
I
lot of
imagine-
things are pointing towards Fae, including that Petey person, and I don't know where to string it all together, but
I see. Perhaps someone more acclimated to magic than I could help you in that regard.
okay.
But yes, so let's give it a try.
I would like to summon a monster.
Please
Summon a
do.
minion. That is a 15.
Okay.
And
What are your tags?
I'm sorry, a 14.
You're right.
Ally tough and armored. I want it to be as much of an approximation of what Mark is without it being dangerous, which is why I picked Ally. And I think as I summon the monster, the black hands come out, and once again, they grab at Lucas's, we'll say, cheek, and instead of skin coming off like this cubish pixel disappears,
Mm-hmm.
and from the phone rips out this huge hulking creature.
I think Jekyll takes a proper step back and says, "Where did you say your power comes from again?"
So, originally it came from Petey.
And now? He folds his arms.
So, what do you know about servers?
Like in a restaurant?
No.
They're not treated well.
Computer servers. All information, including stuff on the cloud, is stored in a server.
Uh-huh.
A separate machine that is somewhere else. The way
Right.
my spell casting works is, think of magic being stored in a server.
All right.
I type out incantations in code, and it draws information from the server. Originally, I needed to go through PD to access the server, but since PD's disappearance, I jailbroke it. Do you know that term at all?
No, and I don't think I will if you explained it.
I figured out how to go around it by plugging myself directly into the server. And I point at the missing eye.
Yes, you're definitely the other kind of spellcaster. I see. All right. So then show me how this works. And I think it only works on weaker monsters, yes?
Currently, yes, but I think with enough experimentation and preparation, I could do it on a larger scale. It would be something big.
Right. At the very least, I believe that between myself and Dolly, we could reduce Mark to something more manageable. He's been
All right.
pacified for the past few days, so we at least have something.
What do we specifically want to change about this creature? What if we...
I mean, could you make it so that they could speak normally?
I can try.
All right.
That's only a 9, so, I guess we both get to add a tag.
I choose...
I'm going...
Ooh.
Oh.
What are my options again?
Do you want to add a good tag or a bad tag? Bad? Okay. Sometimes you could add a good tag to make the situation worse. Angry, slow, confused, cowardly, volatile, weak, silly, hazardous, hungry. I'm going to be adding clever to try to get it to speak.
I'm going to add hazardous. So tell me what happens.
So, I think as the hands reach out of my phone again, they begin picking pixels off and adding different ones. And it's mostly around the temple area. And I think as I'm casting, there is a break in service due to the weird jailbroken version, and two of the hands crash into each other, and something that was obviously going for like the back of their skull instead gets put at the nape of their neck, and their spine gets adjusted wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden the creature's looking around, where am I? What's going on? And just swings its arm.
Yeah, I love it. Jekyll's aghast. He was not expecting it to go like this. What's sort of wrong here?
So it's not a perfect technique yet. Sometimes there are side effects.
Okay. I'm going to
Mostly
hazard a guess that Mark will not like that.
no, which is why I wanted to do a more prepared, careful,
Right.
with as many fail-safes as possible. It's why I want your help and Dolly's help and maybe Dale's sister. I'm gonna try to calm this thing down.
Okay.
That is a 10 and... I don't know what I would use to calm it down. I think I'm just gonna desummon it.
Okay. Sounds good. I assume it like saps back into your phone.
Yeah, the hands reach out and pull it apart pixel by pixel.
Two things.
Yeah?
One, I might be more concerned that your level of power seems to be greater despite not having a dedicated patron. Does that make sense?
Well,
Just a thing to think
Yeah.
about. I would maybe stew on that for some time, and maybe show it more concern than you seem to be. Secondarily, let's assume that this process works. That we have the formula, we have your spell, we have Dolly's soothing power, and it works. Let's say it all comes together. You know it does. You know it will work every time. What are you going to do with this information?
Well, I was actually hoping that I could talk to you about that.
Oh, well,
I think when all this is over, maybe we could help a lot of people. I mean, not just demonstering, but Bigfoot had what they were changed without their consent. We could figure out how to return people to what they are.
that is the primary reason that I have withheld this information for so long. I've been... The last thing I want is some unruly guardian, or whatever they would call themselves, doing something to someone they don't want, that doesn't want it.
But it could be even more than that, because Winnie wants to be a different species of monster than they were born as, and we
That's true.
could help them if we could put all this together and figure it out one day.
That's not unreasonable. Can I ask you a sort of philosophical question?
Yes.
Is there a point at which someone is a net good? They've done enough. They've maybe have done some terrible things before, like truly heinous things. Is there a point at which they've done enough good that they'll be all right?
I think that comes down to legacy. What do you leave behind? Does the good you've done continue on?
I see.
Or does the evil you've done continue on? You know, if you start an orphanage and you raise a genocidal army, people are going to remember the genocidal army.
Right.
If you feed an entire country, but you had to kill a guy to do it, people are going to remember the fed country.
Okay.
It's a matter of what you leave behind, what grips the world the most.
I see. How old are you again, if I may ask?
I think I said 20, 21, 20, 21, 19?
This isn't so that I give you, like, alcohol, is it?
My fake ID says 29.
You gave me a suspicious number and a pause.
I'm 20.
Okay. You can have a beer, I don't care.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let's keep trying, and maybe in a day or two we'll talk to Mark.
Yeah, listen, I think with enough magic, there isn't anything that we can't do.
I think that is true. I would also ask that you maybe exercise the same caution we use with science. You're a scientist, well and truly. You should be engaging with maybe some restricted methods, perhaps.
My worry there is restricted methods is what got me under Petey's boot in the first place. Petey was the restriction. I'm accessing it unrestricted now, so I can do more.
We'll keep... Roll me manipulator person.
Okay. What do I have in that? Plus 0, so it's 7.
My friend, I would like to keep an eye on you, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Would you do me a favor? Admittedly, I'm not very good with magic. Could I take a sample of your blood?
If you think it'll help.
Thank you. And, nice and simply, he grabs a syringe and takes a little vial of your blood. I want to take a look at this, and then maybe sometime later we should talk.
Yeah, of course. And I don't think I got to say it in person, but I'm sorry.
He gives you, this furrowed brow and long stare, and then puts out a hand for you to shake.
And I reach out and shake his hand.
And the camera shot pans down and back up, and who's next?
I'll jump in the
Lucas
line.
talking like a 1980s stock guy. With enough cocaine, there's nothing we can't do.
Also,
We just need a pile of cocaine. We can do anything.
sky's the limit. Lee, can I get Dr. Jekyll saying Godzilla one more time, please?
Godzilla.
Oh God, Mwah. Mwah. It's beautiful. His mouth wasn't built to say that word. It's beautiful.
Godzilla. Yeah.
It's honestly very sexy. It's giving me the face.
I was thinking that, but did not want to say anything.
Lee even made Godzilla into a thirst trap on this. Thanks.
Godzilla's not real.
Have him say Mothra.
Anymore.
Mothra.
Oh,
Yeah.
Godzilla versus Mothra. And also Mechagodzilla is there. I think that's the 12th movie in the series. I learned a lot about Godzilla recently.
Godzilla.
And now it's ruined.
It's just so good.
Who is up next? Who wants to go? Dolly has been... One second. She's clearly exercising a ton of self-restraint. The Grove members, regardless of her power, love her. And a lot of them still try to kind of attach themselves to her hip like they used to. And she has to very politely tell them that she's honored and wants to spend time with them. But she can't do that right now. But it's not like it will never happen. It's just that it can't happen today. And has to kind of do that over and over again. And they try to respect it. There's some people who will kind of have this sort of hurt look about it. And that clearly hurts her inside to see.
Mm-hmm.
But she's fighting through it. And will keeps giving herself alone time. And yeah, what is Whistler up to?
I think that Whistler brings Dolly a cup of tea, and has also made themselves a cup of tea with 3 times as many tea bags in it, just so that they can smell it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can't drink it.
Right.
And just kind of approaches them cautiously and kind of just wants to check in because they know that Dolly's been seeking professional help and texts them every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. I think has really taken the exercises she's been given to heart. It's only been a little while, so she'll tell you that she doesn't actually know if they're working or not, because all of those things will take time. But she's trying to trust that it does. But right now it's in that kind of scared state of what if I would spend all this time and nothing happens? What if I drive people away and suddenly when I'm feeling ready, they're not.
Well, I don't know. I have to imagine being an adult is just a lot of being patient for each other and waiting for, the stars to align, which is not a satisfying answer.
No, it's certainly not. I know it's very kind of you to keep like checking in on me and making sure everything's okay. Are you all right?
Oh, the fungal. Yeah, that.
Kinda that.
Oh, I mean, uh, I mean, it's not ideal, obviously, but I'm hoping that after, I suppose we're trying to save the Grave Watch now. I don't know. When all of this is over, a thing that all of us keep saying without, I think, really knowing what that means.
I was going to ask.
When all of this is over, I mean, I'd like to come back here.
Her face lights up. And do what?
I don't know. I live here, get better, as much as it's okay with you.
Of course.
I kind of like the new look, the new vibe. I heard there's an a cappella group. That sounds delightful.
It's absolutely lovely.
Yeah, this place seems perfect. And also, I think that if anyone needs a detox from electronics, well, I mean, it's Lucas, but I'm a close second.
Yeah, it seems pretty, like, buried deep in you, huh?
Yeah, for sure. I suppose when you can sort of trade out bodies, lose track of yourself a little bit.
That's not quite what I meant, but okay.
Oh, what did you mean then?
I guess I'm not familiar with your situation. You can tell me if I may be overstepping my bounds, and if I am, I will stop. Don't worry. At the very least, from my part, I can sense that I'm not just talking to you.
What? Oh. Ooh. Yeah.
Like I have a pretty concrete sense of other people's emotions, and I think I have a good idea of yours, but then I also feel like there's this lingering, like, chestnut in your gut that is sprouting into something really mad, and really, I think that's envy.
For a moment, I thought it was going to be something as simple as like you feeling a possession or something. My emotion. Have you ever read Peter Pan? Okay. You know how Tinkerbell is kind of a jerk sometimes, but really, it's just that J.M. Barrie writes it so that fairies are so small that they can actually only fit one feeling inside of them at a time. The thing is that I sometimes, against my better nature, I feel so jealous of everyone around me that it is the only thing that I can feel. Try as I might.
That was very responsible of you to tell me. I thank you for trusting me with that information. I'm sure that was very difficult. That is still not what I'm referring to.
Damn it! I don't know. Look, Dolly, I barely know what I am. I'm sorry.
I think you are closer to me now than you were before.
Oh, like a fairy thing?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, that's the shrooms.
Hmm.
Yeah. We fought with some every
I
time. Yeah.
no, go ahead, please. And she sits back and patiently folds her hands.
No, just we got into like a tussle with this thing, and now part of it is attached to me. So, yeah.
Right. Do you feel any like weird, thoughts that are coming to your brain every now and again, or like that sit in your stomach and you can't explain?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean,
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean that's what we want, right? That's what we're hoping for.
Dolly, are you not telling me something?
This is just a guess. I'm not a professional, so I can only work with the information that I have. Based on what I can feel in front of me, is that, like, the slime stuff feels kind of separate from you.
Awesome.
Did you ever watch Star Trek?
Yes, a little bit.
Did you watch, what do they call it, DS9?
No, just the original series.
Okay, so you should watch DS9. It's really good.
Sorry, Lee.
It's maybe one of the best series of the show. And, yeah, there's a character, her name is Jadzia Dax. And I think that she might, resonate in a certain way that I would be maybe aware of.
Okay. I mean, I assume that this is a very vital television recommendation, so I'll...
You don't have to. I don't want to give you homework. That's not my job.
No, that's okay. I'll check it out. Got plenty of time.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to watch it with you.
That would be nice. I really did come over here to try to see how you were doing. I hope I didn't
Right,
hijack
sorry.
it.
I keep doing
No,
that.
it's okay. I was afraid I was hijacking the conversation.
No, I every time someone sits down with me, I keep doing that.
Well, I think that's not the worst impulse. You care a lot about other people. But
Can I ask you a philosophical question?
yeah, a lot of that going around these days.
At what point is it okay to be selfish?
I'm the wrong person for you to ask that question.
But I want to hear it from you.
Oh God. I maybe in the past would have said immediately, or did you say the right time to be selfish or the wrong time to be selfish?
Right.
Yeah.
When you're allowed to be, I guess.
God, I don't know. I mean, I used to follow that impulse pretty quickly, because it felt like I don't know how to. It felt like I was in enough pain that I was allowed to be selfish. Like like I had accrued a currency wrought from suffering, and I was allowed to cash that in to just do whatever I wanted. And I don't think that's right. But I also don't think that to be happy you need everyone's approval all of the time. I think it's okay if you decide what's best for you. You just need to take a second to think about how it's going to touch other people's lives. Because whatever happiness you achieve by being selfish, it all kind of goes away if you're alone.
Roll me a manipulated person.
Dun dun dun. Oh shit. That's a 3. And
You want
here's
to spend that luck you just got back?
immediately? Of course I do.
I love that.
Of course I do.
So
I'm
what level
proud
are
of
you at?
I'm proud of Dolly. I'm right back to not being able to expend any luck or I'll be doomed.
Oh, I love that.
I had just gotten one back and I'm throwing it back away. I think Dolly's great and I think Whistler cares about them very much.
Then I think Dolly gives you a hug, and Dolly is like the only person you can really touch, and she exudes a bit of her like power, and there's like this faint like kind of pink aura that comes off of her when she does, and she's clearly putting a lot into it, and you can feel that she's warm and that she's soft, and you can smell her hair, and for this like little moment that you have right here, you can feel the sensation of being human.
I think Whistler takes in all of those different sensations, like temperature and texture and scent, and then takes in the feeling of moisture as they cry a little bit and hold a Dolly.
And we pan away there.
God damn it, I just got that luck back.
Fuck yeah. Where do we find Dale?
I think
Let me make that quieter.
I think with Dale, the first thing we see are his blue latex medical gloves covered in something dark and red. I think we've seen this a lot. But as we pull back and he pulls them off, we see a towel around his shoulders, a towel around Britt's shoulders, and both of their hair still dark with still drying hair dye. And I think they're sitting in the bathroom, sort of in the tent nearest to Mark's, just kind of chatting.
For sure. I think Brittany used to have like hair down to her ass, and I think it's now up by her shoulders. And she used to have like pretty light, like gray hair. And what color is it now?
I think it's like an auburn.
Honey Mist Auburn. For my Sweet Love Zack and Cody fans out there.
And I think Dale's hair has also been cut much shorter, and his is just a very like generic brown in place of his once light sort of cherry orchard pink hair. He's now gone to a less visible one.
Certainly. I'm looking in the mirror. I think it looks nice.
Yeah, it looks great. I always thought you'd look good as a redhead. Jeez. Kind of reminds you of back at summer camp, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You remember that one time Jolene and Adam caught us? I'd been dyeing your hair white because you wanted to look like Storm. They got so freaking mad.
Yeah, that was a time for, because I don't know, there's so few people whose eyes glow that like you latch on.
It looked great. I thought it looked great. I didn't see what they meant about the whole like, sticking out in a crowd. I thought that was bullshit. I thought it looked great.
Brittany, of course, has like the stoic, like almost immovable face. So when, at least for people who are watching, when I smile, it's like the slightest crook. But for our listeners, yeah, her smile only ticks up ever so slightly, but for the most part, it's this like immovable face. And she says, "When did you start calling them Adam and Jolene?"
I don't know. Just doesn't feel right the past couple days.
Yeah, I get that. Dale, I'm so sorry that it's turning out like this. Like, you didn't deserve to just come back like that.
I don't know what you're apologizing for. I mean,
Someone
There
has
is.
to.
yeah, but you're not the right person to, so I appreciate it. But
Guess that's fair. What do you want to do about all this?
I've been trying to figure that out myself, to be completely honest. I think Dale pulls out his little notebook that has like old and tattered and has the Gravewatch logo on the front. And he kind of opens up to one of the later pages and he ticks off a box on a long list of items. And he goes, he turns it around and he shows Britt. He goes, that was the last thing I had on my list. Been trying to go through the motions, do what they taught us, do what they trained us to do. In a situation like this, you go to ground, you find a secure location, or you secure the location you're at, you inventory your supplies, inventory non-material resources, you change your silhouette, you do all this stuff. And I think there's one unchecked box at the bottom. And that unchecked box just says, await contact from the wire for future instructions. And he goes, I don't know what to do without a mission. To be completely honest, I mean...
Yeah, it's tough when the man of action isn't given any actions. If I may, I was never the planner, but I can at least give you information and see if we can make a decision from there. And then maybe talk to Mark, see if he has a good idea. I mean, obviously he's got to let that poor boy rest, but I don't know. Something feels like really, really off. I mean, things are always kind of off, right? But like it's so much, it's gotten like way too big for a security company.
Yeah, it's a mess. And I always used to do everything Adam told us, because he said all that shit about trust and loyalty.
He did love that. His bricks theory.
Yeah. But I ain't ever been more betrayed more often than I have this year, so I don't know what to do with all that trust. I don't know where to put it. Every time I thought I figured it out, it seems I was dead fucking wrong.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the only people we can trust is you and me, right? And Mark, of course, when he's fixed.
I don't even know about that, though, Like, some mornings I wake up, I just want to burn the whole fucking Gravewatch to the ground, but then sometimes I think about all that shit that Adam said, and it was naive, maybe, aspirational, but I don't know, we found out the Gravewatch had all those aspirations they don't live up to anymore, but now I'm still not so sure it's bad to have those aspirations. It was right.
Yeah.
The seawall that stops the tidal wave is made of 1 million bricks. And there's nothing we can do to stop something this big by ourselves. So, yeah, I mean, the only people we can really trust are you and me and Mark, and everyone else is in question. But if we don't start trusting them sometime, then what can we do by ourselves?
Make me a manipulative person. I don't know. Singular people are capable of pretty grand things as long as they have deep convictions and hold tight and work hard, I have to believe that, like, it maybe doesn't matter how much Mascall has, or how much of shit of a ringer Adam and Jolene put us through. I think we can handle it ourselves. So, she is not thoroughly convinced that other people are worthwhile. She has been a free agent, sort of, in the same way that, like, you were solo missions for a long time before you met your friends. She has only been on solo missions, and she is confident that that is meant to be the case. So, if you can do something right now to convince her otherwise, if not, she will hold to that ideal.
Yeah, I get that. Half the time I feel like that too, but we wouldn't have Mark if it was just you and me. There was a point in that fight when all of us were gone except Whistler. And I didn't have to trust Whistler, but I did. Because I did, we got Mark back.
Making an additional point does not count for doing something. She nods her head slowly and does not argue with you, but...
I mean, I will say, I did do something, it's just I did it before the check.
For sure.
I did choose to trust Whistler.
That will not take it, but she does not tell you that it doesn't take.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of hard to, like, do anything when we're having, like, a philosophical conversation.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But not go on.
How much do you know about Whistler?
I mean, about
also, is Whistler like a stage name or something, or like a alias?
I mean, it's their preferred name, far as I can tell.
All right, fair enough.
Didn't query too much into the origin of it, but I mean, I don't know about as much as I know as about the rest of them. Arguably more.
Define arguably.
I just mean in the sense, Danny only been here a couple missions. Ain't know too much shit about them. No whole hell of. I mean, I've been traveling with Whistler longer than I've been traveling with anybody else in this group.
Yeah.
Save yourself a mark.
The kid. Do you know what his deal is?
I mean, he's a good kid. He's learning. I mean, I would say, to be honest, I figure you probably would understand his deal a lot more than I would. To be completely
I think I do.
Fair.
Which, again, Dale, that makes me nervous.
Yeah.
He's a sacrifice style magic user. Secrecy and sacrifice is the thing that warlocks use. It's the thing that people who attach themselves to very evil things do. It's stronger than what I do. That's why he's as good as I am, but he's 10 years younger. But he doesn't seem very careful.
He's young. He's younger than you and I. I mean, don't act like we weren't making mistakes when we were his age.
I know.
Where do you think this whole grave watch thing started? It was a mistake when we were just about his age. All right.
I wasn't summoning monsters.
Yeah, but you've been battling with a whole hell of a lot worse since a whole hell of a lot younger than he is now.
Madam Templeton has been looking into some stuff that she won't explain, and I think a lot of this started a lot sooner than we thought. Remember that convention you went to?
Yeah.
Yeah. I found out that Madam Templeton didn't receive any orders about that.
What do you
That
mean?
was like, she's been looking into some stuff that's outside our purview. Does that make sense? Like, we're supposed to only deal with undeath. That's zombies, that's ghosts, that's vampires, that's the stuff that makes people into less than people. You know?
Yeah.
She's looking into stuff that, like, it does the opposite, I guess.
Like a super soldier serum kind of thing. Like,
Kinda. Did you ever read, is an author, his name's Chalamet?
I think there was one of it. They assigned his book. I don't think I read it, to be completely honest.
There's a
I
character
asked
that
Mark, and then he summarized it for me, so I remember the
There's-
gist.
there's a character that crops up a lot, that became so good at using magic that they became something different.
Yeah.
And Madam Templeton, for like a couple years, got really invested in magic that makes small, different, like, planes, little pocket dimensions. She was never a thing we worked on when I was a kid, but it's a thing that we all started working on at the same time when things fell through after everything broke bad. She's been meeting with a lot of like historians and just like reading like old texts and stuff. As far as I know, the Fey Lords are people. They are humans who were made into something else as their bodies became more acclimated to magic than what they have. That's why there's a whole world that exists outside of ours that only the Fey Lords have. Tir na Nog, it was made by humans a long time ago. And it's theirs now. But being there changes you and shapes you in ways that, admittedly, I don't quite understand. But I think that's what she's prepping to do. Or she's prepping for something along those lines.
That, I feel like that connects a lot of things that we've been dealing with. I just am gonna need to like sit down with a chart and really,
sure.
I don't, I get the sense that this clarifies a lot for me, but I need to like take a second and put it out on a chart or something.
Okay. Do you remember that orb?
Yeah, I fucking love that orb. I like orbs.
I did too. It was the only way I was gonna trap one of them.
What about the spike? I would like to emphasize the fact we do still have the spike, so
that prevents teleportation.
So it's kind of like the same thing. So like I didn't, it's not. We didn't totally fuck it up. We could still kind of.
That it is important. I'm very glad we have it, but damn, all hell, I wish we had the orb. Well,
Yeah.
It just means we'll have to figure out something else. If something's interrupting us.
Well, where'd the orb come from? I mean, we got a whole bunch of magic folks around here. Maybe we could make one. I'm sure. It's America, the land of building shit.
I stole it from Madam Templeton.
Where did she get it? Like Spencer's?
Dale. Dale. I wish. The reason I bring this up is because when I say things are getting much bigger than we're thinking, I just get scared because, like, obviously something's going on. Obviously things are connected. Obviously, like, Fae are involved. They were way outside our field here. And I've been looking into what Madam Templeton has been after. Remember that every Fae Lord it was once a sorcerer? I'm pretty sure Greyloss is the first. And I don't know if I can contend with that. When I fought them back at the amusement park, they barely did a thing. They just avoided, made that other thing really strong, and that was it. They never really engaged me at all. I was like an ant.
I hate to sort of like circle back, but it does sort of feel like what you're saying now is that maybe we can't, in fact, beat them on our own.
Roll me another manipulated person.
Even worse, that's a 5.
God damn it.
I mean, that tells me that no one can, and we should pick our battles differently.
I mean, seems like the battles are pretty quickly coming and picking us.
Hell if that ain't true. Can I ask you a philosophical question?
You're welcome to ask it, but I will say, I ain't never read no Kierkegaard or nothing.
That's okay. Where is the line between monster and person? I think that's getting muddy. Real muddy.
I didn't pay too much attention in all those history lessons we were forced to go to. You know, that was always Mark's thing, but Dad had a couple anecdotes he liked to say. And, you know, he'd say them so often it's hard not to forget them. But do you remember how the Grave Watch was started? Like,
yeah,
way at the beginning.
You used to have to give TED Talks on it.
Yeah. But I mean, like, how and why? Because when we first started, we weren't fighting no vampires or zombies or any of that. Most people forget, but we started to stop body snatchers. Medical students who just wanted a body to study were disturbing the rest of the dead, and we started our business to stop them. And then you get deeper and deeper into the dark and the spooky and the death, and you start to find all these zombies and ghouls and stuff. So we adapted. I think the point I'm saying is, I'm not sure monster and human are mutually exclusive. Plenty of humans, mighty monstrous. Plenty of monsters have shown me far more humanity than I've seen from, you know, Goldman Sachs.
You don't say.
You, me, Mark. We've all ridden that line at some point in our lives. There was a time in your life when Adam and Jolene took a chance on you. Gravewatch Protocol erred on the side of termination, but they decided to go against it because they saw somebody who was not a monster, but a survivor.
I will be right back. Okay? Just give me a minute.
Yeah, I mean, like you're not going anywhere far though, Rat. Like, I mean, we just
No.
got back. Okay.
Yeah. She takes the towel from around her neck and, let's see. Places it in the chair, steps out, gives you a quick little wave, lets you know she'll be right back. Whistler, where does she find you?
Oh God. I think that Whistler is still sitting like where they were before with Dolly, like in front of like a pond or something. But Dolly has like left a little while ago. Just to go attend to other business or whatever. And Whistler's just been kind of sitting there with like a cold mug of tea and their thoughts.
As you're sitting there, you hear the flap open, and you are suddenly alone with Brittany, who had previously held you like a magical guard when you first emerged from the computer in the facility. And she taps the tent, and all sound outside you no longer hear. There's no rustling of the leaves, there's no people chatting, there's no music. What have you done?
Huh? What? Oh.
What have you done?
What have I done? What? I've been sitting here.
I'm going to respect that your name is probably Whistler, and that's the name you want to be called. I'm going to respect that you have not hurt anyone since I've been here, as long as I can tell. I will not hurt you if you do not hurt me.
I have no intention of hurting you.
What have you done?
What have I done?
I'm going to hazard a guess you've been alive a long time.
Well, after a fashion.
What have you done? I'm outstretching this opportunity to be honest with me right now, for as long as you travel with my brothers.
This is going to sound like a joke, but I've been haunting people. I just sort of assumed.
Why?
I was sad and bored and decided that I would use this opportunity to explore roles, which is to say, pretend to be, I don't know, imaginary friends and talking dolls and all sorts of things.
Have you hurt anyone?
Emotionally, not physically.
Have you ever ruined anyone's life? Or changed it materially?
Changed it materially? Yeah. I haven't been a good person, Brittany. I don't actually know if you consider me a person, but I haven't been a good me.
I'm making that call right now.
I have not done anything out of malice. I've just been myopic and selfish and insensitive to the gravity of people's pain because I was too caught up in my own. And I'm trying to atone for that. And I don't have any ill will against either of your brothers, or Lucas, or Danny, or really anyone here.
Make me a manipulative person.
Don't worry, if it goes poorly, I could just use a luck on it. Oh wait! I can't! And it's a 5. Whistler's not charming.
That's what you get for lying about having ill will towards anyone.
Oh God.
Quincy.
Do you think I am stupid? Do you think that I can't sense there is a well of violent, angry power inside you?
I mean, kind of the pot calling the kettle black, isn't it? I don't think you're stupid, but I'm angry and I'm powerful and I'm hurt and so are you and so is Lucas and so is your brother, despite the fact that he trusts everyone he meets.
There is a part of you that can compel you to evil. There is not one of those in me currently.
That being said, I still don't wish any harm upon your brother. I would never make that choice.
But that choice can be taken from you for as long as you spend time with him. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Dale, or anyone else, now is as good a time as any to potentially intervene above the table. If you don't want to, that's fine.
Are we gonna scrap in an interlude?
Oh, God.
She did ask me to give her a minute. I feel like I wouldn't.
She asked me to give her a minute, and I respect women, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Hey, Danny, can you go grab something from Whistler for me?
Yeah, dude. I think. I think
gonna watch
Danny
Godzilla.
walks. I think Danny walks into the room. Where are you guys?
It's in Dolly's tent.
Or, like-
Dolly has stepped out, yeah.
Is there a microwave in there?
Probably not. Dolly's like a really big naturalist.
I think either way, Danny's gonna walk in and be like, "Oh, hey, sorry guys, I'm looking for a microwave. Got some popcorn."
You see that Brittany's eyes have washed over with white, like there's no visible iris, and that her hair floats gently, as if there was wind in here, and there's not.
Oh shit! It doesn't look like there's a microwave, but you can do like magic, right? Can you pop this for me?
I think there is another tent that can do that, Danny. If you wouldn't mind, I'm having a conversation with Whistler.
Oh shit, Whistler! Hey, what's up, dude? We were gonna go watch one of those old timey black and white
I would
Godzilla
love
movies.
to.
Did
That
you wanna
sounds great.
Yeah, we're gonna have some popcorn. It's gonna be awesome. Let's go. You're welcome to come too, Britt. If you know, I'm sorry I asked you to pop this magically or whatever. If that was like insensitive, but you're still welcome to join us for the movie.
Her head turns to you in that like slow, evil, threatening movie way, as if
Not
to
picking up on
communicate,
it.
"Get the fuck out!" And no notes. Do not connect. And yeah, I'm gonna let you go. Brittany says, "Okay,
It's
have
one of
fun."
the good ones. The puppets are awesome.
That's all right, thank you.
Missing out. Okay, hey, Whistler, let's go find a microwave.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be right there. I think that Whistler kind of like gets up and like looks over their shoulder at Brittany, and kind of with like a bit of like a meek shrug. I would also never choose to fight you. And they leave the tent.
Hell yeah. And she just stands there, like welling in like a violent power, ready to go, ready to fight at a moment's notice, and there's nowhere to put it. And she grits her teeth and breathes out, and it looks like this like steaming hot gas comes out of her mouth.
Kind of sounds like
she's not actually doing well either.
No, but it kind of sounds like she could have popped the popcorn magically.
She could have, totally.